Once upon a time, in a small village surrounded by green fields and tall mountains, there lived a poor boy named Gogu. Gogu was kind-hearted, always smiling, and loved by everyone in the village. But there was one thing he loved more than anything else: drawing. He would use sticks to draw in the sand, making pictures of trees, animals, and people. But Gogu didn't have any pencils, paper, or colors to make his drawings come to life. One day, while walking home from gathering firewood in the nearby forest, Gogu stumbled upon something shiny under an old tree. Curious, he brushed away the leaves and found a beautiful old paintbrush. It looked ordinary, but when Gogu held it, he felt a warm, magical feeling in his hand. He decided to take it home, thinking maybe he could use it to make beautiful drawings. At home, Gogu found an old piece of cloth and dipped the brush in water to paint. He drew a simple picture of a loaf of bread because he was hungry. Suddenly, to his amazement, the bread popped out of the cloth, real and fresh. Gogu couldn't believe his eyes. He touched the bread, smelled it, and even took a bite. It was delicious. The paintbrush was magic. Gogu realized he could paint anything he needed. He painted food for his family, clothes for himself, and toys for the village children. Everyone was happy, and Gogu used his magical paintbrush only for good. He never painted anything for himself that he didn't need. He believed the magic was a gift to help others. But news of Gogu's magic paintbrush soon spread beyond the village. One day, the greedy king of the land heard about it. The king was a selfish man who loved gold and riches more than anything. When he heard of a boy who could paint things into reality, he sent his soldiers to find Gogu and bring him to the palace. The soldiers arrived in the village, and despite the villagers trying to hide Gogu, they found him and took him to the palace. The king, sitting on his golden throne, looked down at Gogu and said, "I have heard of your magical paintbrush. Now you will paint gold for me. Paint treasure chests full of gold coins, crowns, and jewels." Gogu, being clever and kind, refused. "Your Majesty," he said bravely, "this paintbrush is not for selfishness or greed. It is meant to help those in need." The king was furious. "If you do not paint for me, I will throw you in the dungeon," he roared. Gogu thought quickly. He agreed to paint but had a plan in mind. He started by painting a large sea on the palace walls. The sea grew bigger and bigger until it looked like real water. Then he painted a small boat with the king sitting inside it. As soon as the painting was complete, the sea and boat became real. The king found himself floating in the middle of the sea, far from his palace. The greedy king shouted and cried for help, but no one could reach him. Gogu quickly painted a strong wind that pushed the king's boat further away, making sure he wouldn't bother anyone again. Gogu returned to his village, where everyone welcomed him with joy. He continued to use his magical paintbrush to help people. He painted homes for those without shelter, food for the hungry, and toys for the children. The village prospered, and everyone lived happily ever after. Moral: kindness and cleverness can overcome greed.